There's something strange you'll notice if you ever spend time around wealthy families. Not the flashy ones, not the loud ones, not the new money trying to prove something. The real ones. Their children are calm, not excited, not dramatic, not trying to impress. Calm. They lose a game, no reaction. They're corrected, no emotion. They're ignored, no panic. Meanwhile, the most talented kid in the room, usually restless, eager, emotionally loud. Here's the uncomfortable truth no school, coach, or motivational speaker will tell you. Talent gets attention. Composure gets inheritance. And wealthy parents know this. Why talent is cheap. Talent feels rare, but it isn't. Every generation produces smart kids, fast learners, natural speakers, gifted athletes. Talent shows up by accident. Composure doesn't. And wealthy parents understand something poor and middle-class households don't. Talent attracts opportunity. Composure controls opportunity. A talented child who panics, burns bridges, overreacts to losses, needs validation, collapses under pressure. That child is dangerous to wealth, because wealth isn't built in comfort. It's tested under boredom, insult, loss, and delay, and talent fails under those conditions. What composure really means. Composure is not being quiet. It's not shyness. It's not obedience. Composure is emotional self-containment. It is the ability to not explain yourself, not react immediately, not signal insecurity, not leak emotion under stress. Wealthy parents train this early, not with lectures, with environment. They allow their children to be uncomfortable, be corrected publicly, lose without consolation, wait without explanation. Why? Because money flows toward emotional stability. Banks don't lend to panic. Investors don't trust volatility. Partners avoid emotional unpredictability. Why schools get this wrong. Schools reward speed, output, performance, loud confidence. Wealthy parents don't fight this system. They override it at home. At home, the rules are different. No emotional reward for showing off. No praise for trying hard. No rescue from embarrassment. Because wealthy parents are not raising students. They're raising stewards. A steward doesn't impress. A steward preserves. The dinner table test. Here's a quiet test. Wealthy parents watch closely. Family dinner. Guests present. The talented child interrupts, performs talks, excessively seeks attention. The composed child listens, speaks only when necessary, maintains neutral tone. Doesn't dominate space. Guess who inherits responsibility? Not the impressive one, the predictable one. Because wealth doesn't fear incompetence as much as it fears instability. Why emotional control compounds. Talent peaks early. Composure compounds. A composed child handles rejection better, recovers faster from failure, attracts mentors quietly, is trusted with systems. By adulthood, they don't look special. They look inevitable. And inevitability is how wealth moves. The dangerous myth of passion. Poor households tell children, follow your passion. Wealthy households say, master yourself first. Passion burns hot. Composure burns long. One builds moments. Yes, the other builds dynasties. People misunderstand power. They think power belongs to the most talented person in the room, or the loudest, or the most confident. Wealthy families know this is false. Power belongs to the person who can remain emotionally neutral while everyone else reacts. That is why rich parents obsess over composure. Not because it looks nice, not because it's polite, but because composure controls outcomes. The first person to react loses. There is an unspoken rule in elite environments. The first person to react emotionally reveals weakness. The first person to explain themselves gives away leverage. The first person to rush a decision exposes fear. Wealthy parents train children early to delay reaction, not to suppress emotions, but to contain them. Because emotion leaks information, and an information is power. When someone shows excitement, you know they want something. When someone shows anger, you know they feel threatened. When someone shows anxiety, you know they lack options. A composed person reveals nothing. That makes them dangerous in negotiations, partnerships, and decision-making rooms. Why composure dominates negotiations? In every negotiation, there are two battles happening at once. The visible one, numbers, terms, timelines, conditions, and the invisible one, who needs this more? The person who needs it more loses. Composure hides need. A calm child grows into an adult who doesn't rush to accept offers, doesn't flinch at rejection, doesn't negotiate from desperation. Wealthy parents don't train children to win arguments. They train them to outlast pressure. Silence, pauses, neutral expressions. These are not manners. They are tactics. Why talented people get used. This is uncomfortable, but necessary to understand. Talented people are often exploited. They are praised loudly, given visibility, asked to perform, but rarely trusted with control. Why? Because talent is volatile. A talented but emotional person takes feedback personally, reacts to criticism, needs reassurance, burns out under pressure. Organizations love their output, but fear their instability. So they are kept productive, not powerful. Composed people, on the other hand, may not shine immediately, but they are trusted. And trust is how power moves quietly. The invisible social filter elite spaces have filters. Not official ones, not written ones, emotional filters. Who gets invited back? The calm guest, the predictable presence, the one who doesn't drain the room, who slowly disappears, the reactive one, the dramatic one, the emotionally loud one. Wealthy parents prepare children for this reality early. They allow children to sit through boredom, be corrected without defense, experience silence without anxiety. Why? Because elite spaces reward emotional efficiency. No one wants to manage your feelings at the top. Why emotional intelligence is not enough. Modern culture celebrates emotional intelligence. Wealthy families care about something stricter: emotional containment. Understanding emotions doesn't prevent mistakes. Controlling expression does. You don't need to understand anger to lose a deal. You only need to express it. You don't need to analyze fear to be excluded. You only need to show it. And so, wealthy parents don't ask, "How do you feel?" They ask, "Can you hold yourself together?" That question decides futures. The confidence illusion. People often say, rich kids are confident. That's not accurate. They are unpressured. They were not raised to impress adults, perform for praise, earn approval emotionally, so they don't rush to prove themselves. They don't panic when ignored. They don't overreact when challenged. They don't collapse under uncertainty. Others interpret this as confidence, but it's something deeper. It's emotional independence. Why composure attracts mentors. Mentors don't choose based on talent. They choose based on safety. A mentor asks silently, will this person embarrass me? Will they overreact? Will they handle pressure? A composed individual signals reliability, discretion, stability that makes them safe to elevate. Wealthy parents understand this, so they train children not to seek mentors, but to become mentorable. The cost of emotional expression. In lower environments, emotion builds connection. In higher environments, emotion creates risk. At the top, outbursts are remembered. Insecurity is noted. Overexcitement is flagged. Not because elites are cruel, but because power requires predictability. Wealth doesn't collapse from lack of talent. It collapses from ego-driven decisions, panic under loss, emotional overconfidence, reactive leadership. So, wealthy parents raise children who are boring under pressure. And boring under pressure is priceless. Composure as a legacy protection system. Think generationally. One emotional decision can erase decades of wealth. A bad partnership, a reactive lawsuit, an ego-driven expansion, a panic sale. Wealthy parents know this history, so they don't gamble on temperament. They select heirs based on emotional discipline, long-term thinking. Low reactivity talent can be hired. Composure cannot. Why emotional people are managed, not promoted, in professional hierarchies, there is a quiet truth. Emotional people are managed. Composed people are positioned. Managers absorb emotion. Leaders suppress it. Wealthy parents raise leaders, not performers, not validators, leaders. The final separation. By adulthood, the sorting is complete. Not by money, not by intelligence, not by credentials, sir, but by emotional predictability. Who can be trusted under stress? Who stays calm during loss? Who doesn't need emotional reassurance? Those people are allowed near decisions. The rest are kept busy. The rule rich parents never say out loud. Rich parents care more about composure than talent because talent attracts attention. Composure attracts power. Talent creates moments. Composure creates control. Talent impresses crowds. Composure governs outcomes. That is why calm children inherit systems, not just money. And now you understand the rule that was never explained to you.